So that's what we're talking about today, the divine attribute of love, which really, if we're going to say everything emanates from the Christ, I'd like to say the Christ is love. So everything emanates from love. Love is just redundant when we light that candle because it already is love. It comes from love by the process of love. It's on its way to love, and it is helped there by expressions of love. That's who we are. And as Ernest Holmes so beautifully and wisely said, it cannot be destroyed. Love is there. None you can do about that. But you can't ignore it. You can refuse to let it in. You can refuse to use it in your life. And so that's what this season is really about, is remembering that. Is remembering that the Christ, in the form of Jesus, came to the earth to say, wait a minute, I know you've got a lot of teachings which are maybe helpful in a lot of ways, but you've lost the spirit of it because none of it matters without love. And if you have love, none of it matters. He said that pretty plainly. Love God, love your neighbor, done. That's it. That's all there is. That's all there is. So as we talk about love today, human love or divine love, is there any difference? I don't believe that there is. Human love is divine love coming through a human to a human. That's all it is. So according to Webster, love is unselfish, loyal, and beneficent concern for the good of another. I like that. Unselfish, loyal, and beneficent concern for the good of another. My mentor and great friend, Chris Chenoweth, says, a good definition of love is that it is a feeling that excites desire for the welfare of its objects. You want what's good for the other. So much of what we call love in our human daily life is wanting good for ourselves and trying to manipulate the other person into giving it to us and then rewarding them when they do. Right? The absolute welfare of another person. And my favorite definition of love, which I've carried with me for the last 40 years, is M. Scott Peck's definition. The will to extend oneself for the purpose of nurturing one's own or another's spiritual growth. What that tells me is it's not always easy. It's not just what feels good. It's not just what's comfortable. It's not just sitting on your couch and having great feelings of I love you. It's the willingness to extend yourself, a willingness to do the hard thing. And sometimes the hard thing means get up and do something. Put your love into action. And sometimes the hard thing means sit on your hands and do nothing. Because when you do something for someone that they can and should be doing for themselves, you rob them of their dignity. You're no longer doing that because you love them. You're doing it because you love the comfort you feel when you do it for them. This is a big lesson to learn. It's a big lesson to learn. So, love is an action and a choice, not a feeling. I mean, I love the feelings of love, don't get me wrong. I love the feelings that go along with love. But love is an action and a choice. And Jesus said, greater love hath no man than that he lay down his life for a friend. Well, that's really extending yourself for the good of another. Extending yourself for the good of another. Most of us are not asked to lay down our life. Thank you, God. But can we lay down our judgment? Ooh, that's almost harder, isn't it? Can we lay down our need to be right? Can we lay down our cherished notions? This is what the world is. I've already decided. These are the sheep. These are the goats. Never the twain shall meet. I know who's right. I know who's wrong. I know whose tribe I'm in. Can we lay that down? Can we die to that? Can we dare to be love? It's not an easy thing to do. It seems like a really feely-good thing to do, and it certainly is when you're in love, when you're consciously in love, when you know that what you're doing is for the sake of love, that the way that you're extending yourself is for love. And here's the cool thing. You don't have to muster it up from within you. Like I said, that divine love is the love that's coming through you to another human. So really all you got to do is be willing to open up and allow that love to come through you and follow the guidance that says what love is to do here. A great question to ask yourself in any circumstance is, what would love do now? What would love do? Right? What would love do? And so cultivating the energy of love, I love that phrase, cultivating the energy of love, is what is ours to do. Ram Dass calls it creating an environment in which love can flourish. Can you be the environment? Can you create it in yourself so that the love in you flourishes? Can you create it by holding space for the people around you so that the love with them has room to flourish? You can't make them love, but you can create an environment for love to be welcomed, for love to happen, for love to be witnessed, for love to be seen and enjoyed and returned. Creating an environment, cultivating an energy. If we believe in the power of love, and I dare say you have decided that you do or you wouldn't be here today, if you believe in the power of love, then it is incumbent upon you and you and you and you and me every day to cultivate that energy. Not to try to find it in the world, but to create it in the world. To actually create it in the world. So how do we do that? We got to pay attention. We have to pay attention because it's not always the obvious thing. As I say, sometimes, I see this in myself all the time. It was a great thing when I was parenting my daughter when she was little. She is a person who has a certain pace. And I'm a person who has a certain pace. And when she wasn't doing something quickly enough, even though it was something that she should be doing, I would sometimes come and take it over. Not because I was doing it for her, but because I was doing it so that my pace could be met. And when I realized I was doing that, I worked very, very hard to stop it. You can ask her how well I did. 50-50 maybe. But becoming aware of the ways that we do that, becoming aware of the ways that we are making ourselves comfortable rather than truly loving another person. And coming to this realization that nice isn't always kind. Nice isn't always kind. Kind can be telling someone a hard truth. Now, not shoving it down their throat, not insisting that they agree with it, but when asked and when put into the situation, saying the true thing, which is often a really hard thing to do because we want people to like us. And that's not about loving them. That's about trying to feel good ourselves. It gets complicated, but not really. And it's not always what we do, but it's how we do it. I love this story that Ram Dass tells about a Japanese man who was living in the United States and after World War II wanted to return to Japan. And they were being very careful about who they let back in the country, apparently. And you had to fill out all this paperwork. And there was a question about why. Why do you want to return to Japan? And the man wrote on his questionnaire, "In making a cup of tea, I stop the war." Breathe that for a minute. In making a cup of tea, I stop the war. It's not about making the cup of tea, it's about the consciousness with which he was willing to make a cup of tea. Mindfulness, being there, bringing absolute love to the very, very moment. Because I'm telling you, when you heal yourself in the moment, when you heal the moment, it doesn't just stick to you. We are all one. Every time you heal something, you create healing in the wholeness of us all. Can you think about how, in making a cup of tea, I might heal the world? I could certainly think of instances in making a cup of tea how I might harm the world just by my attitude. I coined this phrase, or I think I coined it, I don't know, cultivate the energy of love. Many years ago, I had a sermon that I called Cultivate the Energy of Love, before I was even officially a minister. And that day, we had just had our bathroom renovated, and we had a guest coming that afternoon. And Bob got in the bathtub when we got home from church, because we had a new jacuzzi in the bathtub, and he filled it with soap. Anybody ever turn on a jacuzzi when there's soap in the bathtub? The whole room was covered with suds. I came running in, screaming like a banshee, really, truly. And he looked at me and said, "Are you cultivating the energy of love right now?" Nothing like having somebody call you out. It's like, no, I'm cultivating the energy of a lot of things, but not love. Not love. So what is energy? It's usable power, spiritual force, exertion, the fundamental entity of nature that is transferred between parts of a system in producing physical change within the system. It is a fundamental element, and it can be transferred between parts of a system. It can be matter, it can be energy, it can be matter, it can be energy, it can be both at the same time. It actually is both at the same time, but it produces at least a visible physical change in the system. So all of life is energy. Can we agree on that? All of life is energy. And this is basic new thought. When you focus your energy in a certain direction, that's what I mean by cultivating the energy of love. When you focus your energy in a certain direction, you create, you turn that energy into matter. You bring it into expression. This is what, to me, this is what manifestation means. It means my love isn't just a feeling that I'm having. My love is something that I am bringing to the world. Whether it ends up being tangible matter, I believe that my love matters. Right? Robert Walsh, in his book, Day of Promise, says, "The meaning of life is not contained within one act. As long as there is life in the world, the story of the world is still being told. Nothing is settled. And if nothing is settled, then everything matters." Everything matters. And isn't that exciting to know that everything matters? And isn't that scary to know that everything matters? Right? Because if you can, by the way you cultivate the energy in your life, if I can, by the way I cultivate the energy in my life, heal the world, then it stands to reason that if I'm cultivating a different energy, that I can do some harm in the world. Here's the good news. Love vibrates at such a higher level than anything unlike itself that it only takes a little bit of love to overcome a lot of the other stuff. That gives me great comfort to believe that. And I know it's true because I've seen it. I've seen a little love overcome a lot of enmity. And so we tend to think 50-50. That's not the way the world is made. I choose to believe that's not the way the world is made. Love literally matters. It creates our reality. It affects material change. And so how are you making your love matter? Because when we consciously cultivate love, then love is the result. Guaranteed. Guaranteed. It's not easy. It's a spiritual practice. And it starts with being present right now, being aware of what it is that we're cultivating in every morning, in every moment. What would love do now is a great question. What am I cultivating? What environment am I? Am I cultivating within myself an environment that allows love to flourish? Because if I am not practicing self-love, then I am not cultivating an environment in which love can flourish. I can't put all my love out there. I won't have any love to put out there until I cultivate an environment in here. And once I've truly cultivated that environment in here, accepted all the parts of myself that I don't like that much, then it's so much easier to accept all the parts of other people that look like I don't like them that much. Once I understand that there is a wholeness, there is not good Melinda and bad Melinda. There is just this individuation that's called Melinda that's actually just one tiny part of this entire wholeness. And when I can accept that, then I can accept that's true of you. I can accept that's true of anybody. Anybody. You're supposed to love everybody. I know. It's hard. Anybody, though. Anybody. And that, folks, is the story of Christmas. That is the entire story of Christmas. Love, the love of God, came into material manifestation in the symbol of Jesus. The world was really caught up, as we are today, in the rules and regulations, right? There was a lot of war, and even among the people who believed in one God, who had chosen to focus their energy in a certain way, that believed in that one God, the Jews, they got really caught up with do this, don't do that, do this, don't do that, do this, don't do that, and Jesus came and was annoyed with all of it and said, whoa, wait, do that or don't do it. It doesn't matter what you do, it matters how you do it. Once you do it with love, then everything you do will be right and it will serve. Anything you do without love is just, as Paul would say, a clanging gong, a clanging cymbal. So I want to leave you with this idea that Jesus, and we're going to talk about this on Christmas Eve, the symbolism of all of the characters in the Christmas story, but I'm going to give you the preview that Jesus is that symbol of love. And by living life the way he did and teaching the way he taught, that hadn't really been done before in that area of the country. Now, the Buddhists said compassion. It's all about compassion. They're not really that far apart. But Jesus named it love. He named it love, and he said, not only love, but love everybody. That was he went out of his way to sit with the people who were the outcasts of society. He went out of his way to tell stories about the goodness of people who were considered completely untouchable by the Jews. He went out of his way to do all of that stuff because it's the most important lesson that we can learn if we don't learn anything else. And we just remember this, just on your walk in the morning, or when you pick up the phone to call customer service. Or, God bless you, there's nobody on the other end anymore. You're going to have to get online to do it, right? Let me be a vessel of love. Let me be a conduit of love. Let divine love flow through me in this exchange. Let me create an environment of love within myself so that I can create a container of love for this exchange that I'm having with another human being. It's that simple and it's that hard. So, love is Christmas. Christmas is love. Merry Christmas. We'll take those ideas into a meditation. Just take a deep breath. And check out your environment. Take a deep breath and ask yourself, what's going on in here? And allow whatever bubbles up to just be accepted. Oh yeah, okay, there you are. I can offer that love. Not fix it. Offer it love. Whatever thought. I can bring God's love to bear on that. Whatever pain you might feel in your body or discomfort. Focus your attention and bring love to bear on that. I allow the energy of divine love to flow through me to that which I'm experiencing as pain in this moment. Breathe If you're worried or stressed, not that anybody's stressed this time of year, but if there is some worry for yourself or for another, give yourself the gift of not figuring it out, but just consciously bringing love to bear. I choose to see the love in this situation. I choose to cultivate the love in this situation. I choose to be alive to and focus on the love in this very situation right now. Anything else that comes up, again. Allow an environment of ease by not having to figure it out, just bringing love to bear. That's it. It's not yours to fix. It never was. All that is called for from you is love. And when you breathe and remember who you are, it's the most natural thing you can give. And maybe you'll feel that love in your body as a flame burning that's allowing you to glow brightly. Or maybe you'll feel it as water running through you, cleansing everything in its path. In whatever way you experience, just allow it, expand on it, breathe into it. If there's any tension being held in your belly, breathe into it, let it go. It's not until we begin to consciously relax that we realize how many places we're tense. Just notice them. Bring love to bear. And when you're feeling that environment of love that you've created inside yourself, you didn't need to go anywhere else because the love was already here. To extend outward from your physical presence. Know that that energy of love vibrates beyond you. Consciously allow it to affect everyone in this room. I am love, we are love, there is only love. We are one. All of those phrases express the same thing. And it's pretty easy to do, to create an environment of love in this room with all the singing and praying that we've done. It gets harder when we go outside these doors. So just practice for a moment or two. Practice holding on to that space of love, that environment of love, as you get into your car to leave here. Allow your vehicle to be a sacred space for you to be inside. And allow it to emanate love so that it affects all that's around it. Know that wherever you go next, the energy of love that you've cultivated here and now, simply by your awareness and your focus, goes with you to bless and heal. If everything is made up of energy, then the energy you carry matters. Allow it to come into being, into form. In the same way that God's love burst into form as this world, God's love through you will burst into form in your life, creating richness, creating a mirror for love, for people to look at you and see love coming back so that they might recognize who they are. Know that this is the truth of who you are, and you can call on it at any time. In this Christmas season, allow your love to be manifest in whatever you do, wherever you go. And so it is. Amen.